One day, I wish people could tell me what is one single project of the ANC or the PAC where we could see during apartheid that you see now, these guys are closer to attaining liberation. You ask the ANC, maybe between 1960 and 1990, show me one target where you could say, you know what, these guys were closer. Like in other countries, any other countries where maybe guerrillas have created a liberated zone or we are closer. No ways. Actually, South African army, could vanquish the whole continent, including Gaddafi, by 1990. They were in the top 5 strongest armies in the world. These guys, they'll tell you about Sosol. They bombarded Sosol. That's what they claim. You ask, what were you doing all this time, 1912 to 1990 to 2019? They established an MK, APLA, armed propaganda. The job of a guerrilla army is to defeat the oppressor's army. And you tell me, by 1990, have you ever seen soldiers, our soldiers, marching in the street, liberating us? No. These guys, they sent one boy, to go plant bombs there. And they will call the police, spy on the very same person that they have sent. And when that person is arrested or there's a shootout, it makes up headline news, and then they take the paper clips, to their donors and say, you see, we're working. They need more money. They pretended to be fighting a war so that the donors, both Scandinavia, both Russia, could give more. Oliver Tambo moving from country to country, talking about liberation here and there, getting monies not filtering to their foot soldiers in camps, starving, some being impregnated against their will. There are massive rapes that happen there. Some people being termed as spies because some other top leaders want to sleep with them. There's so many rapes that happen in exile. That's why this culture of rape, this culture of dragging women is prevalent. Check the ANC. There's always an accusation. They're always using their opposition, councillor, sleeping with the girl, because abakwazi ukushayela labantu ibhari, man, ibhari. And South Africans, we liberated these guys. That's why they could not believe their luck by 1990 when they came through Jan Smuts Airport. Guerrillas, soldiers, freedom fighters coming through the airport. They could not believe their luck when the INXILES surrendered authority and said, guys, you can take over. Abu Mandela, a project of the Zionist media, propelled into superstardom. When Mandela was arrested, he was nothing compared to Robert Sobukwe. Nothing compared to Robert Sobukwe. But he was made. They came out celebrating, gravitating, eating. They were chowing everything and anything in their, on their path. But tell me one project. I mean, even musicians, South African musicians and artists and actors, they were better than these guys. At least, Hugh Masekela, Mama Africa, they went overseas. But Shumaili Vangeli, they continued the struggle. That's why the international spotlight was turned into South Africa, or into South African issues, because of artists like Abo Letambulu, Kaifa Semenya, Abo Ipintombi, going over Abo King Kong, not the ANC. The job of the ANC was to meet up with apartheid government on the same level, politically, military, and otherwise. They did not. They did not. In fact, they climb on the back of artists and say it was a multifaceted struggle. No, 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 no. The artists, actors, performers, soccer players, their role was to lead campaigns like Abu Mandela, Release Mandela campaign, the longest standing campaign, all those campaigns. But the job of the MK and APLA was to defeat South African army. They did not do that. By 1990, the South African Defence Force could vanquish the rest of Africa, including Gaddafi. They were strong. And these guys, they were not closer to liberating us. Hence today they came in here, marching up and down with their uniform, saying they are veterans. Veteran of what? They never fought a war here. They are veterans maybe in Zimbabwe, in Angola. They must get their paycheck there. Here, they never fought a war here. We liberated the ANC, MK, APLA, PAC. We liberated these guys. They did not liberate us. During Irabo Sainyof, did you see them in the mid-80s? During Inkatha, did you see MK, APLA defending the people? People defended themselves. Defended themselves. So in what world have these guys liberated us? They'll say, no, we led sanctions against South Africa. Okay, sanctions. Who did sanctions hurt the most between blacks and whites? Because remember, apartheid government, it had plan B. That's why they could employ their own people in these parastatals that they started. Abo Sosol, Abo Spornet, whatever that they could not get outside, they produced here. And they're also linking Abo Israel, linking with countries such as United States. Sanctions. Between the late 70s and mid-80s, more blacks lost their jobs as compared to Afrikaners and white people or English-speaking people. So these guys, even in the 60s, they were hitting targets. Let's go back and say, okay, when they were starting the MK, what is it that they accomplished? How many power lines did they hit? How many toilets did they hit? It's a hype. Njogut Mandela was underground and all. Nonsense. Nonsense. How can you be underground in Rivonia? Who lived in Rivonia and Saxon World at that time in Rosebank? One of the interviews of Mandela, I think it was BBC, it's in Rosebank. In the 50s and 60s, we were in Rosebank. Black people were not allowed in Rosebank. When I were in Rosebank, accommodated by whites. No. By Zionists. No wonder today we are led by Zionists. That's why these guys, when they came out of jail, most of them were sponsored by OpenM. But I tell you, South Africans, we liberated these guys. They could not believe their luck when they came out and they found South Africans were willing to hand over power to them. These guys, they are fraud. They are fraud, but they are not liberators, these ones. We are yet to liberate ourselves. We are yet to liberate ourselves. Even from 1912, when they started, they were reacting to the Union of South Africa. Everything of theirs is reactionary. They say, Queen, please, we want an African desk under your empire. We do not seek to overthrow the Queen of England or the monarch. At some point, we gave you 5,000 men to go fight alongside Britain in World War I. Please, Queen, please, King. Yeah. And those are our liberators. Yeah. During exile, what did the ANC do? Oliver Tambo was in England, Lusaka, fleshy houses, when the soldiers were starving. Some were raped. He was in London. Secured. I got to a queen by British police. How can you struggle? How can you lead? I'm struggling against whites in South Africa. If whites in England, they've got you cornered. And there's Buckingham Palace here. How can you lead? I'm struggling. When you live in an imperialist country, we are fighting imperialism when you are in exile. In an imperialist country. The same as Nabo King Goodwill Zwelithini, the chiefs here. What did they do during the 60s? The Zulu monarch. Xhosa monarch, Amampondo. At least about Dalinjebo, they went to exile. I can, excuse them. Abanye balwile. Bakhona balwile even during apartheid. But most of our African chiefs during apartheid, they never fought. Most of them, they were in the establishment of the apartheid government. They collaborated. Today they come, they've got a budget. And still oppressing their people. Yeah.